I have to be honest about that. I don't really know.
That's a fair answer. Were you ever, did you ever pass up any other role or get really close to a role that like everyone could say, oh my God, that was almost Ali Sheedy? I love those stories.
I know. I'm trying to think. No, I know that there's roles that I've wanted that I didn't get close to, but I don't think so. I'm trying to come up with something good for you here, but nothing's coming to mind.
Like, what's one role that maybe you didn't get close to that you just really were like, this is such a great part. I really want this one.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
See, you weren't reading the Inquirer and all those things. And I was like there in the 80s, like salivating over every word. Like, I understand the words were probably not true, but I still went there.
There were roles that everybody wanted that only one person got. And it's probably a lot of women my age can think through the decades of what those roles were. And we were all probably in the same boat with that. There's more than just one. Yeah.
That makes sense. Is there a part of this business, like you've done, like I said, when we started so much, like, is there a part of this business that you want to still do that you haven't tried? I mean, I can't think of any when I think of you, but I mean, maybe there is.
No, I don't want to be a director. Everybody wants to be a director. I don't. You know, to try to maybe get something off the ground as a producer on something, maybe. The truth is, I just really like being an actor. I like my job. I love having this job. I love going to work. I love having a script that's beautifully written. I love being collaborative with people. I like to work on this show because as I figured out, Carol, that the whole creative team is very collaborative with me. Obviously it's this first season and these characters are evolving. I love that back and forth. And they really are that way. The whole creative team on this show is just really generous with the actors. So that makes me happy. I feel like I can go places with Carol because of that.
I think there's so much to Carol. Like, this could go, like, I hope this show goes on forever. Many years. Well, talk to me about being a professor that you do from your kitchen via Zoom. I teach my class right here, just like I'm talking to you, since we went online in 2020. It's a class at City College, which is a campus of City University of New York. The kids in the Department of Theater and Speech. So I'm teaching, mostly it's theater actors, teaching an on-camera class. So we're messing around with how do they shift over and figure out their work on camera. It's really a workshop-y, fluid, fun kind of class. And I love my students. I just fall in love with them. So. Do the students come in and say, oh my God, that's Ali from Breakfast Club? Like, do they know, quote unquote, who you are?
Some of them do, and some of them don't. It doesn't really come up right away at the top. Some kids take the class, they have no idea. Some kids decide after they start the class, yeah, they're gonna stick with the class, so they Google me. And then some kids know already when they come in. And I'm never really sure until they start actually asking questions. Or texting me, because we text, but mostly it really is about how do they want it. We're working on scenes and we're working on all the creative stuff, but the questions are usually about being on a set, technical, logistics, what is it like to walk on a set? How do they film this? How do they film that? All sorts of stuff that I wish I actually knew, that I learned on the job. And they all are right at the age I was when I was starting. So there's something really, not really exciting, but really fulfilling for me about that.
Is there one piece of advice that you feel that people want from you the most, having been in the business for so many years?
I think, I talked to the kids about it. And do you mean advice that they want to have?
Yeah, you've been in the business, and because they're one thing they want to know from you.
more than other parts of the business?
What they really want to know is how to, I put it into this phraseology. It's not what they say, but there's a way that they can, as actors, trust themselves. You know, sit there in the power and the talent and the creativity that they have. I want them to go to work feeling empowered within their own selves, so that they don't have all this stuff coming at them. I don't want them to walk on a set and feel like they don't know what they're doing. Do you know? I want them to feel like set, so that they can be empowered. And that's, we work on that a lot. We talk about that a lot.
That makes sense. Before we wrap up, one very quick question, and then I just want to say goodbye. But if there was another movie or TV show or something that came along that was offered to you and it happened, like, just say, I mean, that the casting was everyone that was in the Breakfast Club. They want you and Molly and all 5 of you. Do you think, like, and the script was great, but it's not the Breakfast, just something totally different. Do you think that would be like something great? Or, I mean, is that like, can we really, I mean, is that like jumping the shark? Can we really do another movie
We wouldn't
together?
do it. We wouldn't do it. It would feel like trying to recreate something that happened, no matter what the script would be. I just don't. I don't think.
Right.
I don't think it would happen.
I mean, that's what I would think.
Yeah,
But-
I would just feel too.
I mean, and I can't even think of what that would be. And before we would go, I just want to say, like, as you know, a self-respecting gay man, the way that you handled your son's transition and just, you know, was so just, it's a textbook for, I mean, parents out there everywhere, really. I mean that sincerely.
Thank you. I learned that from him. I learned how to love him and be there for him and support him from him. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like there was some textbook that I was reading thinking, you know, this is the way you have to handle this and that, you know, if your kid's in transition. I just learned his attitude has always been, he loves me. This is what his life is. This is where his life is going. And that it's actually on me to educate myself, so that I can show up for the relationship. This is very much Beth, though. I mean, he's really strong that way. And I did. I wanted to be as close to him as possible, even without being able to really in very deep detail understand exactly what he was going through. But I wanted him to feel safe and secure with me and in my love for him. And that's how it's unfolded. But it's they have to take the lead. Like, the kid has to take the lead, and you need to learn from them and not impose your stuff on them.
That's such good advice. Well,
Yeah.
Listen, Single Drunk Female, everyone needs to watch this. This is my job. I speak to a ton of people every week, but I just want to tell you, this truly for me was a personal chat. Like,
Thank you, David. I loved it.
Thank you for doing this. And Single Drunk Female is phenomenal. I'm going to be watching. Carol is everything. And I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Really.
Take care. Thank you so much, Allie.
Bye, honey. Thanks.
Bye.